Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections with Aly. Um, JT was with me. I guess he'll pop back on in just a moment. But hey, welcome to Making Connections. I'm your girl, Aly. We're here every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Saturday at 12 noon. And every fourth Monday, we have the honor and the privilege to be with the great James JT Thompson. Woo! Hey JT, how are you?
And good afternoon. What a beautiful Monday we have, and it's definitely great to be here on making the connections with Ali, JT. Fourth Mondays are special.
Yeah,
Every day is special is what we learn and we know for what it is, and cherish it for what it is, because each and every second that we get on each day is a blessing within itself.
absolutely. And we've been just keeping you in our prayer and lifting you up. And so we're glad that you were able to be here with us.
I definitely appreciate that. Um, my mom, my kids, my family, my wife. Definitely appreciate all the prayers, the love, the support. The outpouring of love is what I call it. Just when you going through bereavement and that whole process and the grieving that comes along with it, just the each and every day I'm reminded of just the love, and that you do have wings and angels and arms around you even when you don't realize it. Ali, you've been tremendous. The prayers and making connection family. You feel that when you're going through some of your toughest moments. And,
Mhm.
for me, it's special to be here today, because this is the first show of any kind that I've done since my sister transitioned. So it has a lot of meaning to be here today and be in the midst of this great show.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely going to, our topic today is healing and victory. But I definitely don't want to forget, because, I'm so used to you being here. This might be somebody's first time experiencing you on the show. So I definitely want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself.
So I am James J.T. Thompson, co-founder of Big Woo Radio, also now published, self-published author and a poet as well. Known my poet name is Poet JT.
Yeah.
Blessed with just the opportunities that God gave me the ability to, and the skill set to do certain things, and I'm just understanding that gift and utilizing that gift that I was blessed with. And every fourth Monday when you tune in, it's about inspiration and impact. You leave here with something that'll be impacted upon your spirit through our show, especially on Mondays.
Yes, absolutely. Now that is the truth, because I think what's so good about it is we just keep it real. We don't come on with any kind of facade. We let people know we're going through stuff and
Hmm.
life happens, and you know we run into the screen right before the show starts. I mean, it's
Hmm.
real life. We are real people just like everybody else. And
Hmm.
because we've overcome things, and because we know that there are people out there suffering, we want to be that voice, like you said, of inspiration, and just reminding everyone that, how do you say it, JT? You oh gosh, you write your own narrative. What's that you say?
So many, it's a few
Right,
things that
you
I
do have
say.
a lot.
Create, you control the narrative, basically,
Yes,
and everything that's in your life. You hold the controls. You have the stick. You flying the plane, and where you go is how you drive it and navigate it through. You have control over that. I say faith with without works is nothing. And you have to have a mustard seed faith, and a faith that is not defined by sight, but defined by what you have in your spirit and your soul.
absolutely. And so I want to kind of is I don't want to I don't want to be too I mean, I want to be sensitive, but I want to ask you, even
Mm-hmm.
with your sister transition and all the
Mm-hmm.
gifts and stuff that you're talking about, and changing the narrative and controlling the narrative of your day and your life and being positive, how much more has that impacted you?
Mm. Well, yeah, we're being transparent. That's what we do. Uh, somebody's gonna be encouraged, helped, and going through it freshly today. It's motivated me even more to understand that we create our own legacy each and every day. And what I found through going through this is even more strength within myself. There's no preparation for end of life, and when you see, especially um, a family member, immediate family member, someone that you grew up with, you was in the same house with, and you experience a lot of things with,
Mhm.
it's a different move. And so for me, it came many different ways, meaning it affected me mind, body, and soul. I was blessed to be able to be by my sister's side the last, especially the last 48 hours of her life. I was there, by her side, and was able to say and experience things that it was me, my sister, and God. And those things were moments that I won't forget, that I carry with me
Mhm.
each and every day. When they talk about something that my sister used to say, I've embraced it. She said, "Your tears are not always tears of sorrow. Your tears are liquid prayers. You have to look at each and every drop as a prayer that you're putting in the atmosphere." And
Wow.
it goes along with cleansing your soul. You cleanse your soul and your spirit, because all tears are not tears of sorrow. We have tears of joy and tears of different emotions. And so I've embraced that as, you know what, it makes so much sense. Liquid prayers.
That's a
There's a
good one.
stigma of telling young boys especially, don't cry. You don't be weak. You know, if you
Right.
cry, it's showing a weakness, and it's not. It's so much so far from that. There's a strength within being able to cleanse your soul and being able to show all the emotions that gives you another layer of what goes along with finding your purpose in life. And so when you say, the many ways that I've impacted, that was one thing. And just picking up, you got to cherish what God places in your life. I've been blessed. My mom is 77, a blessing within itself. And you begin to look at things in an even different eye. And so I've been able to, interacting more with my family, you know, taking the time that, with your children and your spouse and cousins, because a lot of times, Allie, the truth is we won't see each other family wise until we're going through bereavement, and then you make promises that we want to see each
Yeah.
other more often and this, that, and the other. And I've taken that, to heart, and each and every day, I'm reaching out to more and more family, but family has been strong in reaching out, to us as well. So we're making good on that promise, and that's something that I know that my sister's smiling down, on. And if anybody that's been looking at any of the posts or anything, the one thing that is consistent is her smile was infectious, and it's still
Yes.
impacting in every picture that you see. So those are the things, just some of the things, and how I've been affected since my sister transitioned.
Awesome. Awesome. And one of the things you talked about was, the tears. Sometimes they just, it's, like you said, it's not anything that's major wrong, that your
Hmm.
life is just messed up, but it's just a release.
Hmm.
You got a lot of things going on, and you just like, I just need a moment. And
Hmm.
you release that, and definitely, with telling young men, don't cry, that's a sign of weakness. But I
Hmm.
think when we, men, women, whoever, when you don't release those feelings and release them in a positive manner, then that's when all that anger builds up. That's when all that resentment and that bitterness and people just, striking out, hitting people and fighting is
Hmm.
because you haven't released what's on the inside of you, right?
That's right. That's a lot of that built up, pent up emotion, those things that take you to another atmosphere. That's why I encourage, people, let it out, vent. And it's the one big message that I've gotten through this process. Don't hold those emotions in. Don't hesitate. If you feel it, let it out. Because it's when you hold it in that you cause yourself even more harm. And a lot of times you don't even realize that you can harm yourself more in the mental and spiritual side, and just by not being all the way transparent. I know it's things that we don't want to, we shy away from, that, it's not the easiest conversations, but those things are a part of building who you are in life. And for what God prepares us for is part within our character and stuff. And so when you talk about, what does victory and healing mean? Well, we in preparation each and every day of our lives for those things right there. Every step that we take in this life, that we're being prepared for the ultimate victory and in the healing that comes along with it. Because a long time ago, I was told, it's like, you know what, you have to look at life in two different ways, especially when you're going through something. You are either going to receive your healing on earth, which means that there's still purpose upon your life, and there's still things that you are supposed to be doing, or your
Right.
healing it comes in transition, and when you cross over. And then you're talking about total healing, total, your spirit, is totally healed. And for anything that you went through on this earth, now you in a utopia. It means a perfect world, a place that God is prepared for you. Is before Him, and now you're before, God. And so every step that you've taken in this life prepares you for that moment. That you are before God, and then there's a whole nother layer to that within itself. How did you carry yourself? What did you do? And all those things that, that what I call the conversation, then happens before our Father, our King in heaven. And that's the other thing. Let me see. Let me back up and say that brought me some closure, even though I'm grieving. I thought about, it's like, man, my sister is where we all trying to get to. She's with
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. She is right there and reach, that goal, you know, and that within itself was like, wow, just let me think about this. It's no longer a battle, and all the things that we see in this life, all the stuff that we watch on TV and the news and see in person. My sister didn't have to endure that stuff anymore, because she's in a place that they call the better place, but a place that we all are trying to journey to get to where there are no stresses and worries and evil and things that we endure in the physical sense, to where we have to battle through and fight. My sister she fought her battle,
Right.
and she fought the great fight. You know what I'm saying? And now, she reaps what God promised us. You think about it, man forsake you in promises and things every day, but you think God guarantees you that I have something for you that no man can offer you. All you have to do is be obedient and live the way that you're supposed to do, and you will see it. You will see it. You will be promised it. So I say to myself, and I say to the audience here today, you want to see, you want to experience all that God has for you. When we talk about victory, victory is something that, it's not just I win. I win in another way. God is telling you victory in me is the ultimate prize, the ultimate win. There is no other win
Yes,
that even
Lord.
compares to the one that you find in Jesus. And when you reach that pinnacle in that place, and it's like that's the inside track of me speaking in my sister's funeral was the most challenging thing that I've ever done in my life.
Mm,
But the message that was said and was God speaking through me. When you heard me
right.
say, my sister is healed, God spoke that in my spirit. He said, this is what needs to be heard and placed in the atmosphere at this moment. And so if you notice, the voice elevated, everything elevated in that moment, because that was God speaking through my spirit, and I felt it. There were no tears in that moment because God was speaking through my vessel and was putting something in the atmosphere that was much needed in that moment. It doesn't mean it doesn't
Exactly.
hurt because we hurt in the physical. But Lord, when you think about the victory and you think about my sister is healed, you think about the healing that is placed upon your body when you have somebody go through something. There's nothing like God whispering in your spirit, she is healed. I have her in my midst.
Mm. Woo. I'm getting chills over here. Oh my gosh. But you're right. And victory looks different for all of us. You know, I think sometimes we try to
Mm-hmm.
compare our victory to
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's, or we want the victory that we think somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
has, but we really don't know what they went through to get
Mm-hmm.
that victory. We don't know how many times they had to go out on the
Mm-hmm.
field and get beat down and or put on the sideline or injured to get that victory. So everybody's victory
It's
is
true.
different, and your
Mm-hmm.
victory might be just having peace. Some people's victory is money. Some people is having a family, because there are women out there who want to have children who can't have children. So, if they
Mm-hmm.
could adopt a child, that would be their victory. You know what I mean? So, you really have to ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself, what is your victory? What is victory for you? Don't compare it, or don't, other people give us ideas. They want us
Mm-hmm.
to do certain things, but is that for you? And you have to be in tune, I think, with God to know that.
Yeah,
And sometimes
you
people
got to
are
be in
God does
tune.
put people in your life that will, speak into your life and help to guide you. But even still, at the end of the day, you have to say, "But God, how do I get to where you want me to be? How do I accomplish this? How do I make it to that victory?"
Yeah. What's the what's what is the game plan? We in the huddle. You giving the instructions. We calling the play, and now I have to go out and execute your purpose, your role in that play in order to make it successful. It goes along with something that you posted the other day. You said, what can I do in life for the very first time that I've never done before?" And so
Hmm.
it's an open question, but it applies to life in so many different ways. And you're thinking, you know what? It makes you think, what have I not done in this life that I could do for the first time and call it a first time? Well, let's look at this for what it is, what pertains to victory and healing. You think, well, how many times in this life have I loved unconditionally with no regrets whatsoever? How many times have I experienced hurt, agony, and distress of being able to say, I forgive the person that placed that upon my spirit, and I'm able to move forward. You make your first and be victorious and find your healing in each and every choice that you make in this life. So your first is actually something that you can create the narrative on and make it a first time and make it a beginning and make it a starting point in order to enhance and make your life what it's supposed to be. So it was a loaded question. I answered it a certain way that day because I said I'd come back on the show and answer it the way I
Yeah.
really wanted to answer it. Because I thought it was such an interesting question. And it's like, really, we hold the cards to that. We hold the keys to being able to recreate. First times are the most natural things that we can experience in this life. But think about the victory and the healing that we can experience when we're doing things that actually impact our spirit, our soul, and our life. It's kind of like they say, well, you read the scripture and then you say, what did you get from the scripture? And then at the bottom of it, it says, now how can you apply this to your life?
Yep.
There you are. You had the 3 steps in order to execute right there. And so it's like you go back to the original thing, like, wow, I thought about it, brainstorming, even got a couple of suggestions. Now it's on me to execute that feeling of the feeling it for the first time. How do I feel? Do I feel like I'm about to do backflips and cartwheels and things that exude excitement. Realistically, it's all in the mind, Allie. You think about it. Even
Yeah,
things that we speak on, yeah, it's like I might not can physically do those things, but think about the imagination and the feeling that he gives you because you feel like you could do it because you feel like you on top of the world.
that's it. That's true. And one of my, I call her my niece, but she's not my niece. But she
Hmm.
posted that she completed her first 5K. So,
Hmm.
but the thing about it is she didn't just get up one day and be like, "Oh, somebody's having a 5K. Let me go run this 5K." No, she
Hmm.
had to condition herself. She had to get
Hmm.
used to what it was going to feel like running in the heat, running in the
Hmm.
cold, running uphill, running downhill, running on cement, maybe some gravel. There's a process to it. And so, even with that, I was like, I haven't done a first in a while. And for me, it was like
Hmm.
my life has become um, routine. And routine is good in certain areas, but I haven't really
Hmm.
varied from my routine. And that's
Hmm.
that's odd because I usually go somewhere new or do something different, and I haven't done that in a while.
Hmm.
So for me, it was a challenge. Like, okay, so why are you not experiencing this life that you always come on the show and tell everybody else about? Why have you not?
Hmm.
What's stopping you from having another first? But even as you were talking, even about like falling in love, you may have fallen in love before, but this could be a
Hmm.
first time that you fell in love without any baggage.
Hmm.
You fell in
Hmm.
love without any fear. You know what I'm saying? So even something you may have
Hmm.
done before still could have a first to it, right?
Cam first. So you think about it. A lot of times, in what we talk about love, think about it. Sometimes we don't realize until we've actually went through it and came through that we understand. You know what? I love. I know what to love, but love and being in love is two different scenarios. And so when you
Mm,
discover I'm in love, you think about that feeling. You think that feeling within itself is a first because you were experiencing one of the greatest gifts that we were blessed to be able to do, and that is loving and being in love. And so, you hit the point on the head when you think about it. Like, wow, that feeling of when you in love and it isn't organic and it doesn't have anything to it other than you are able to love and receive love fully without any like, oh man, what's the catch or what's this or what comes along with it. You were just able to fully love and embrace it and receive it like we were meant, like it was meant to be. That feeling is one of those things that just makes you like make you want to run up 40 flights of stairs because you are on a whole nother level of thought process, and it
right.
puts you in a different mindset. You think about it when you do things that make you happy, and when you do things that complete you, like when you fall in love, those things complete a certain thing in your soul and spirit, and it's like you on top of the world. Like you move different, you speak different, you think different, you're more proactive in life, and it does when you do things that are great for the spirit and the soul. It moves you in ways that is not like your ordinary. So what you call routine, let's think about this. Sometimes we get routine in life because God wants you to just sit still for a moment and allow Him to pour into you. Meaning that it may seem passive and it may seem like I ain't doing nothing with my life. I don't understand what's exactly going on. But in that moment, what we call God's timing, God places something upon your spirit and you start to get closer and closer to moving toward what is in that season. I say this: God is
Mm,
seasoning you for the next season and chapter in your life. And when you get that sprinkled and when you get that marinated, there's no move like it. And then you look back and you be like, wow, God was really, He was preparing me. And now here I am walking in a totally new thing, a part of my life, and just look at God showed up and He showed out, and look at the smile, and my spirit feels free. I don't feel bagged down, held down, And the greatest thing about that, Allie, is this: you discover a love for yourself. Because self
That's right.
love
Yes. Come
is
on.
a big thing. Because when you experience self love, when you love yourself, now you can give the greatest love possible because it first started from within. Because God placed it there, and you discovered it. And when you discover it, my Lord, that what is for you will be, because you are no longer hindered by thoughts and second thoughts and regrets, because your spirit is in another level, because you have done something that first comes before you are ever able to love someone the way that you should. You first love yourself.
Yes. I knew you was gonna get there. I knew it. Because that is the thing about it. We're looking for everything outward. We're looking for, but it's got to come inward. It's got to start there first. So when you fall in love, think
Hmm.
about falling in love and what it feels like. But what have you given yourself that much attention? Have you given yourself
Hmm.
that much time? Have you given yourself that
Hmm.
much pampering? You know what y'all know what
Hmm.
y'all do for the people you love? Have you done it for yourself?
Hmm.
And when you are truly in love with yourself, like you said, JT, things just are different. Things look different, things feel different. Even things that come at you negative come at you different. You're able to handle it because you're like, okay, so they said that, but I'm not like that, or I don't do that.
Hmm.
So I don't know where they got that story from, but it's a good story. Let's talk
Hmm.
about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, I love
Yeah.
me and I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's and I think that's a victory. And I think that comes when you have been healed. When you have been healed from the things that you've experienced, when
Yes.
you know, okay, it was just part of life. It doesn't mean
Hmm.
there's something wrong with me. It doesn't mean that I'm
Yeah.
out of order. It was part of life. It's I made a decision.
Hmm.
It wasn't the best decision at the time, but I made it. But I lived through it. And now I'm being healed from that.
Hmm.
And because I want the victory.
It is. There it is. You just brought the point home, and I'll go down that road with you. You think about it in this life. When you first birth into this world, you are washed when you come in, and when you descend from this world, you are washed in a totally different way. But the two things line up, and there are a lot of things in this life that line up in birth and in transition. They line up, and it's what we do in between those things, the impact and the legacy we leave on this life. You think about it. You think about something about yourself that just is infectious whether you're around someone or not. I'll take the thing about my sister, her smile. I don't care what it was. People thought about you don't look like what you're going through.
Mm,
Meaning you can't tell. I have a armor and a shield of faith that protects me from showing any emotion outside of I'm walking through. Like the whole, I got a strength and a thing of, if I can't do anything else, I'm being an encourager in this life. You know what I'm saying? Upliftment. And I see the impact my sister had, and I see the impact she still have. Because understand, it's because you're not physically present doesn't mean that you're not spiritually here. That's the
that's
thing
it.
that we have to grasp. The physical and the spiritual is two different moves. And when you are able to impact someone spiritually without speaking a word, but just how you live and just how you are etched in somebody's heart and spirit, those things are how you continue to impact and inspire. And it's not just celebrity type things. You have people that are in your life, that impressions they make on your life, that stay with you forever and ever and ever. And these are one of the things that remind you of that. How did a person impact you and impress your life, and then you think about their victory, their healing. Those things are so important. should blow you out the water when you think about, wow, what God created.
Uh-oh, no, no. I'm sure he will jump back on in just a minute. But, just what he was saying was that, oh my gosh, he says so much good stuff. But, I was just thinking about um, the Bible, and there's a scripture. One of my friends always picks at me. He's like, "You always quoting that scripture," but I love it because it says that you are a living epistle, read of all men. You are a living epistle. I'm reading your story as it's happening. So when you're a living epistle, read of all men, I have to ask myself sometimes, what do I want my story to be? Do I want it to be one of bitterness and anger and, backbite and gossiping? Do I want it to be one of victory? Do I want it to be one of, kindness and generosity, of strength, of overcoming? But again, you have the power to control your narrative. What do you want your story to be? You are a living epistle read of all men, just like I am. So, what do you want your story to be? And I know sometimes it feels like, well, my story is just going to be whatever society gives me, but it doesn't have to be that way. We have options these days. We have, people that we can reach out to. There are avenues where we can get help. If there's something that you want to be, there's a vision, there's a goal, whatever you want it to be, it can happen. It might take some a little bit more time to get there. It might take some a little more help to get there. Um, and just, resources. Sometimes people have to do it over and over before they make it. So, hold on one second. But what do you want it to be? But see, you got to start thinking about those things. Just like I was talking about my niece who ran the marathon. Again, she didn't just get up that day and run a 5K marathon, not ever having done it before, not having any kind of conditioning. So you have to think about, what do you want your story to be? What do you want your end result to be? Because a lot of times, even with I've heard in writing a book, some authors, not all, the author we had on recently, Sanai, he doesn't do it that way. But sometimes they say, start with the end. What do you want the end of your book to be like? What is going to be the last chapter? And then work backwards. So sometimes in life, we have to think, okay, where do I want to get to? What do I want to be? What do I want to have? What kind of impact do I want to make? So if I want to make that kind of impact in the world, what does that mean? What do I need to be able to do that? What's the avenue I'm going to take to do that? Am I going to put books out so that the books can go all over the world? Am I going to write a song because songs are universal and they go all over the world? Am I going to be a speaker and I'm going to travel all over the world? What is it that I am going to do and that I'm going to contribute to make it happen? So, what do you want your story to be? We definitely are talking about victory and healing on today. And if there's healing you need, reach out for people who can help you. Everybody can't help you. And that's the thing about it. You have to, we talk about God, we believe in God. Everybody does not, but whatever that higher power is for you, you have to sit down and you have to meditate and you have to ask God, okay, who can help me to accomplish this? Who do I share this with? Direct my path. Give me guidance, show me the vision, show me the way. And so, there's a process even to healing. For some people, it can happen overnight. You just like, okay, I'm done with this. Now I done cried and I'm over it. It wasn't the right thing. It wasn't the right person. It wasn't the right city for my life. I'm over it. For some people, They're a little bit more vested in it. I mean, even with network marketing, we talk about the difference between men and women. Men are more, you're going to get some no's through the process, and men just be like, okay, whatever, and keep on going. But sometimes for women, we be like, oh, because we might know a little bit about the story. We might see this single mom who's struggling. We might see this family who's having a hard time feeding their children or allowing their children to participate in outside activities. So for us, it's like, you don't want to say no, you need to say yes. Do you know what kind of, if you say yes to this opportunity, what difference it'll make in your life, what difference it'll make for your family? So for women, sometimes we're a little bit more vested in the person saying yes. Not because we're weak, but because, like I said, we are feeling, this will change your life. You need this opportunity. Just try it. Um, you know, um, but for men, if they say no, they just out the door. Okay, I'm going to the next person and see what they got to say. I'm going down the street and talk to your neighbor. Well, listen, you might not want it, but do you know somebody who you think might? you know, so it is a difference. But again, we have to get to that place of victory. Because a lot of times, when people are drawn to you, they're drawn to, like with celebrities, when JT was talking about that, we like to idolize them. We like to watch them. We like to see where they're going and what they're doing because we're living vicariously through their life, right? We want to do some of the things that they're doing. We want to go to some of the places they're going. We want to sit at the table and break bread with some of the people that they are sitting across the table with, right? So we look at them and we idolize them, but we have that same victory, like JT said, we have that same opportunity in our lives. There are local heroes, there are local people who are doing great things just like celebrities are, feeding people, traveling, doing whatever, taking their families and creating memories. People are doing it in your circle, in your community, I'm sure. But again, what we are attracted to and what we see about them is there's a place of victory that they have reached. There's a place of healing that they have obtained. There's a sense of peace. There's a sense of confidence. There's a sense of, you know, I'm worth it. And I think sometimes that's what we're really after. Oh, how did they get so confident? How did they feel so secure? How did they feel, how can they smile through what they're going through? I mean, people tearing them apart and talking about them. Maybe they are going through a divorce, but they still seen on the red carpet together. They still smiling. What is that? I want that. And so a lot of times, again, I think we're going after the dream. And what is it that the one man says? They see the glory, but they don't know your story. So whenever you see these people, know that there's a story. Know that there's something that they went through. And I mean, that a couple of them, like preachers, have talked about. I get my lights turned off. They came to repossess my car. Um, I was a cheater, you know? And so, you might be sitting across the table from somebody and you're like, they can't even keep their lights on. But guess what? It's only a season. You don't know exactly what's inside of that person. It's only a season. They're going through a little something, but it's part of their testimony. It's part of their story. When you come to see the glory and you ask them about the story, you're gonna be blown away. You're gonna be like, "What? You went through that? You mean your husband abused you, and y'all has been together for 55 years? Wait a minute, how did that happen?" You know what I'm saying? So there is a place of victory. There is a place of healing that we all have to get to. But again, it has to be your place. It can't be somebody else's place. You know, it can't be, oh, I'm trying to think of an example that just brings it home, but it just has to be for you. It can't be somebody else's place of healing. Like I said, maybe somebody's victory is buying a home, but then somebody else's place of victory is selling their home, which makes me think about one time when we were out and we were looking for a church building. And the pastor that was trying to sell his church, he's like, we're just kind of changing roles. You are out searching for a building. You're out searching to get into debt. You're out searching to have a place that you can grow. Well, we have grown and we're searching for a period to get out of debt. We're searching for a place to pay things off. We're searching just to be stable for the next 10 years. And so there are different places in life, different and in different seasons, even with your friends and your family. Sometimes you don't walk in together in that season because you're in different places. But that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that there's anything wrong with them. It's just a different season, right? And so we definitely wanted to encourage you to get to that place of victory, get to that place of healing, get to that place where you fall in love with you, get to that place where after you fall in love with you, now you can fall in love with somebody else and love them fully, without hindrance, without, you know, uh, pomp and circumstance comes to mind, but it's not really what I mean. But I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Get to that place where after you've fallen in love with you and you're ready to travel, you're ready to venture out, you're ready to, you know, whatever it is for you, right? I was watching a movie and it was a crazy movie. I don't really like to watch things that have seasons because I want to go sit at the movie, see it from the beginning and the end. There might be a sequel coming, but this one ended, and I know that there's something coming, and that's gonna be something different, right? But these seasons where they leave you hanging and you have to watch and watch. But anyway, I was watching this whatever it's called, and um, the woman was, oh my gosh, she was broken. She was angry. She was lashing out at people. Everything somebody said was very sensitive to her because she didn't know her worth. She had been abused and she thought everybody was an abuser. Um, she even forgave at the end the person who had hurt her. No, no, no. She hurt that person. Okay. So she hurt somebody because of her anger and what they had done to her. That person that she hurt forgave her. And she was just so shocked that this person would forgive her and how she felt so relieved and so just free, that then she started helping other people come through things, started helping other people to be able to talk about their situations and their circumstances, helping other people to come to that place of victory and of healing. Don't take those things lightly. You hear those words so often. I think sometimes that they just be like, okay, yeah, 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 you gotta be healed, let it go, release, I forgive you. Even saying I forgive you, it's more than just saying the words. You have to really do it. You have to cut that out of your heart, cleanse your mind from those things. You know what I'm saying? It's a process to it. Okay? And so we hope that you have been encouraged today. I wanted JT to come back. He's so um insightful, and he brings it home. But that was the topic he chose today: victory and healing. And of course, as we were talking about, of course, he is walking that path right now of healing from his sister's passing. Um, you know, don't regret one moment with her, has the memories, is sharing her smile with everybody. And so think about that. What do you want? You're a living epistle, read of all men. What do you want your story to be? What do you want to be the legacy that you leave behind? What kind of impact do you want to make? And it doesn't have to be over the world. Everybody doesn't want to go international and travel. But what kind of impact can you make in your household? What kind of children are you raising? That they're going to go out into the community and be good citizens. They're going to be loving and kind and respect others. You know, what kind of impact do you want to make in your church? What kind of impact do you want to make in your neighborhood? I mean, let's just break it down. We don't have to go all over the world. What kind of impact do you want to make in your neighborhood? Okay. What kind of impact do you want to make in your own life? Because again, it starts with you. It starts with you falling in love with you. It starts with you having those first with you. It's about you just being at the best place that you can be, right? It's about you letting go of stuff that no longer serves you. It's about letting go of that hurt, of that bitterness, of that anger. Because sometimes it doesn't matter. You might want that person to come and apologize. You might want that person to come and ask you for forgiveness, but it just may not happen. What if that person is already transitioned and it can't happen? So you're going to live your life stuck thinking about what they did to you, why they did. Some things we might not have an answer for right here on this earth. But start thinking about, okay, they did this, but you know what? I'm still living. They did this, but guess what? I'm still able to go out and to do what I need to do for my family and for myself. I'm still have an opportunity. I can go back to school. I still have an opportunity where I can write that book. I still have an opportunity where I can help somebody else that's going through what I'm going through. Because now I've gotten to that place of victory, right? Now I've gotten to that place where it's okay. Let go of things that no longer serve you. Yes, amen, Kimberly. That's it. You got to let go of things that no longer serve you. And sometimes we feel so bad about letting go of stuff. It's just like when you're trying to declutter your house, you're like, oh my gosh, but somebody gave me this in fifth grade. That was so sweet. Honey, it's falling apart. Let go. Let it go. I had this dress. I went to the prom in it. Well, you can't wear it now, and you ain't going to no proms. Let it go. And it was probably a style of 20 years ago. You're not going to wear it. Let it go. It's not serving you. Make room for something else that can add to your life right now. Y'all know I'm about to tear up right here. It's not serving you. Let it go. Let go of those feelings. Let go of the words that were spoken of your life. They were only there for a season. They didn't know who you really were. They couldn't tell you how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, because they didn't know how wonderful and how beautiful they were. So they definitely couldn't tell you. Let go of the words, let go of the actions that are not serving you. Make room for the new. Yeah. Make room for the first times, right? Y'all can do it. I believe in you. Well, JT, we love you and we appreciate you. Sorry we lost your connection, but we love you. We appreciate you bringing this topic to us. And you guys know that we are here every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Saturday at 12 noon. JT is with us every fourth Monday. You guys stay with me just for a minute. We're going to take a quick commercial break and I'll be back just for a few minutes. Thanks.
Thank you for being such a wonderful listening audience, whether you were listening live or on the replay. And don't forget to like our Facebook page, Making Connections with Aly and Shay, so that you can get notified every time we go live. Do you have a burning message to share with the audience? Contact Alicia Johnson at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@ALYSSIAJOHNSON.com with your topic idea and your message to be booked on the show. And if you're an inspirational speaker or a motivator or simply seeking a platform to share your message, contact Miss Alicia Johnson at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@ALYSSIAJOHNSON.com to be considered for 30 to 60 minutes of weekly airtime right here on the Making Connections Network. Again, contact Alicia Johnson at info@aliciajohnson.com. That's info@ALYSSIAJOHNSON.com to be considered for 30 to 60 minutes of weekly airtime, your own radio show right here on the Making Connections Network.
Hey, everybody. Y'all know I had to take a break. I had to go get myself together. Oh gosh, yeah. Some of you know, some of you don't. Some of you will learn. I'm very sensitive, but I'm still going through that healing process. I'm no different than anybody else. God has no respect of person. He's not going to heal one person and not heal another. He's not going to walk somebody through the process and not walk somebody else through. But it's about, are we willing to go through the process? Are we willing to walk the way? Are we willing to be, transparent? Are we willing to be honest with ourselves? We want you all to get to that place of victory and healing, because that place is so peaceful. That place has so much to offer you. Um, because when you're down and depressed, you're in the dark, you don't want nobody turning the lights on, you don't want to go out the house. Honey, there's so many things outside those doors that you can experience. Okay? So we want you to experience life. We want you to live life. We don't just want it to you to exist. Come on, we want you to live. We want you to have that victory. So again, I say that you are a living epistle read of all men. What do you want your story to be? How do you want your story to end? What impact do you want your story to make even after you're gone? Just like JT was talking about his sister, she's still impacting people's life. People still wake up every day and think about her. People still wonder, well, what would Mia do in this situation? What would she say? What if I could call her? What would be her words of wisdom and her words of advice? So, and then we talked about, chasing after those celebrities, because what we see is a place of peace and confidence and, even authority. But guess what? Don't chase the celebrities. Go out and be a celebrity. Become a celebrity. And again, it don't have to be international. It could be in your local town, neighborhood, home. Be that celebrity. Be somebody's hero. Let go of the things that no longer serve you and make room for the new. All right. Well, we love you here at Making Connections. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. Again, JT is with us every fourth Monday. Um, Follow him on he's James Sherman Thompson on Facebook. I think he's JT underscore Big Woo Radio on Instagram. Check out Big Woo Radio. I think you go to bigwooradio.com and you can see episodes there. But guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We want you to be encouraged. We want you to live your best life. We want you to find that healing. We want you to find that love. We want you to fall in love with yourself. Because let me tell you, God don't make no mistakes. It don't matter how you got here. He don't make no mistakes. And everything that he makes is good. Right? Because we were created in his image. Right? So we got strength, we got power, we got authority, we got wisdom, we got peace, we got joy. Come on. Let's embark on that, okay? 2020 has been is come and gone. It has taken us down. It's taken some stuff from us. But if you're still here, you still walking with purpose. There's still a promise over your life, and the promises of God are still yet yea and they are amen. All right. So if you need some more encouragement, if you need somebody to coach you through something, if you need an opportunity, you can't find work, but you need an opportunity, reach out to me. Reach out to me on Making Connections Network. Email that email address, info@aliciajohnson.com. Call us, text us at 980-389-6826. We have the connections. We have what you need. I might not be able to provide it, but I guarantee you, and that's one thing I can say, we got some history now. We have some connections. If you want to know how to write a book, if you want to know how to produce your music, if you want to know how to get into business, become a business owner, hey, we're here for you. All right. So, again, until next time, we love and appreciate you. Follow us on Facebook. Turn on those notifications. Make sure you share and like this video with somebody else because somebody else needs to hear this word as well. And until next time, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day. Bye.